The San Andreas Fault is a transform fault. Imagine placing two slices of pizza, one being pepperoni and one being anchovy. Now, at a lateral movement, that friction in the middle is where the earthquake occurs above and below. Now, as that occurs, pieces of debris of anchovy debris will fall onto the pepperoni side. Today, I'd like to discuss with you the three types of boundary, one being divergent, the second being convergent, and the third being transform. The effects of the topography and the geology on Earth's occurrence post-earthquakes, and the factors of how an earthquake occurs. Below the Earth's crust, there's a commonality of having the Earth's lithosphere and the Earth's asthenosphere. The lithosphere above contains the crust, the mantle, and the core. And as the asthenosphere lies below the lithosphere, it is part of the Earth's mantle below, involved in the tectonic plate movement. Now that we discuss the type, now let's discuss the three types of known boundaries. One being the divergent boundary, a spreading motion. It occurs along spreading centers where places are moving apart and new crusts is created by magma pushing up into the mantle where it's located in the asthenosphere. The friction in the middle there, that is where the earthquake occurs as it's spreading in a divergent boundary. The second being a convergent, which is a subduction boundary. It is also known as a destructive boundary because it is an area where the earth of this lithosphere collides with another plate. Lithosphere is destroyed, thus commonly occur with the oceanic lithosphere, oceanic lithosphere. So, a demonstration, this is the Earth's crust. As the subduction of the asthenosphere, crashes into the lithosphere of the crust is covered above it. And lastly, last boundary is a transform boundary. Places where all plates slide past each other. Many transform boundaries occur on the seafloor, where they connect separate diverging mid-ocean ridges and San Andreas faults. Now that we discussed each type of boundary, let's discuss the different factors of an earthquake occurrence. On a divergent boundary, an earthquake occurred during a divergent boundary are shallow and moderate. In a convergent boundary, a subduction boundary, the known zone is called the Wadati zone, in a subduction zone plane where many earthquakes occur. Subduction, that friction between here, this angular part, that is where the earthquake occurs, mainly in the oceanic lithosphere into the Earth's crust lithosphere. In the transform body, a lot of transform bodies occur in the seafloor where they connect several segments of diverging mid-ocean ridges. Now that we discussed each of the effects and the factors of an earthquake occurring, let's discuss the affects and the topography of the Earth's geology. In a divergent boundary, spreading boundary, the soil and the oceanic lithosphere creating a will create ridges and valleys on the Earth lithosphere, on the Earth lithosphere. In a convergent boundary, the effects of a convergent boundary is the creation of volcanic arcs, and sometimes mountains and trenches. and an in-transform boundary occur on the seafloor with a segments of mid-ocean ridges and San Andreas faults. So in conclusion, the three types of boundaries, subduction, divergent, and transform, occurrence. Knowing the factors and difference of each type of boundary hopefully helps you understand how the Earth's topology and geology's history of Earth's topology and Earth's geology. Thank you.